welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will show you how to create a database, create a table, insert values, update values and delete values in Microsoft SQL Server. The first thing to do is to search for and launch SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS. So when you open the SSMS, you would see that the server's name on the pop-up box, it will show you the server's name. If you are using your computer's server, you should see that the name is the same thing. Check for the server's name, and then for the authentication, make sure to use Windows authentication. Click on Trust Server Certificate and then click Connect. So the next thing is to click on the new query box up on the Studio interface, and now it's time to create our database. So I want the database name to be sales. So what I do is to write create database sales. Now I would highlight this statement and execute it. And when you look below, you see that it shows command completed successfully below. And then if you look towards the left of the execute command, you see that we are in the master database. Now to go to our sales database, we would click on, we will type use sales. We'll type use sales, that's we'll write a query saying use sales, and then we can see that the message below says command completed successfully. That is, we are now in the sales database. The next thing is to right click on our databases, the folder that says databases. We'll go to the folder that says databases, would refresh it to make sure that our sales database is already in it. Now we can expand the databases and then go down to see that we have the sales database currently in it. The next thing to do is to expand the sales database, and then to check for the tables. To expand the tables, we can see that currently we do not have any tables created yet in our sales database. So we are writing a new query now that would create a table in our sales database. So to do that, I would write a query that says create table, and the name of my table should be sales agent. So we are creating a sales agent table. So create table sales agent. Then we'll open a bracket. The name of our first column, of the first column in our sales agent table, is agent ID. That is the ID of our agent, and we are going to use int data type, and we'll make it a primary key. Then the second column is the first name of the agent. So the first name of the agent is going to be a data type virtual 50. And then the third column would contain the last name of the agent. So we have agent ID, first name. Then the third column would be the last name column. If you look at the first column, which is agent ID, the importance of using this column as a primary key is to show that it is a unique identifier. and we cannot put a duplicate value in the column. So here, each of our agents will appear once in this table with a unique identifier, which is in the agent ID column. The next column is our last name column. I would also use the varchar 50 for it, just like I used for the first name. Then the next column is the salary column. That will show the salary of each of our agents, and it would the data type I'll be using is the float data type. After that, I will be creating the last column, which is the mobile number. The mobile number is going to be the last column, and I'll use the data type varchar again. And the reason why I'm using the varchar is because this varchar data type accepts special characters, but I can as well use numeric data type, the numeric data type. So when I'm done typing my create statement, I have to close the bracket that I opened at the beginning. Now we are going to highlight all, that is the statement we just wrote, and then we'll execute. We execute this, and then you can see that when we execute it, you see that it will create a table. So just wait for me a minute. Okay, so I'm highlighting this, and then I click on execute. Okay, there's a line error. I am supposed to put the closing parenthesis to it. So it's good that you're seeing that you can always make errors and then adjust your errors. So then I highlight this statement, and then I click on execute, and then you can see that it says command completed successfully. So the next thing to do is to right click on the sales database. I just right click on it, I close it and right click on it, and then I click refresh. I want to refresh this table to this database to show that I have the table sales agent. So when you expand on the tables, you can see that we have the sales agent table right there. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to insert values into our sales agent table with our columns. So I'm going to write a new statement now that would add values, that is row values to the columns of our sales agent table. So I'm going to write insert into sales agent, that is our table, which is sales agent. Insert into sales agent values. Then I open the parentheses. One stand for the first row, that is the first row of the columns. Under agent ID we have 1, and under the first name we have David. Remember to use the double quotation mark for your varchar column type. So the last name will be Mark. The salary is a float data type, so we're having 20,000. Then remember that the mobile number, we use the varchar data type. So we are also going to use the quotation marks to begin typing and then to close the typing. Okay. So be very careful. Note that the first column data type is an int and will only accept integers like numbers. The second is a virtual, and I need to use quotation marks for its values. Don't forget that mobile number is also virtual. So when your column has a virtual data type, you have to use the quotation marks like I did here. So we've written our insert into statement. The next thing is to highlight this statement and click on execute, and you can see that below that the message says one role affected. If you want to see the content of this table, if you want to see the content of our sales agent table, then we can write a select statement. We can write a select statement for this. So this select statement will show us what we have currently. So I'm going to write select a new statement, select all from the sales agent, that's the sales agent table, and we can see the pop-up. So I highlight this and then execute, and you can see the content of the table. You can see the content of the table that we have one row of data record in our table. So the first agent is agent ID 1. The first name is David. The last name is Mark. The salary is 20,000, and we have the mobile number. So to add another row of data, we can also do the same thing. Insert into sales ID values. This time around, our agent ID is 3. The first agent is 1, but the second agent we are including, the name is 3. The agent ID is 3. The name of the agent, the first name of the agent is Busayo. The last name of the agent is Walter. The salary of the second agent is 30,000, and then we change the phone numbers. And then you can see that the rules of the data type is also applying here. So be always conscious of the data type of your columns when inputting your values to be used. So the next thing to do is to highlight this new statement, just this new statement, and execute. And then you can see that the messages below shows one role affected. That is, another role of values have been added to our columns in our sales agent table. So let's add another role data. So the same thing like we did in the first and 2 instance. For our third agent, the agent ID is 5. The first name of the agent is Ramad. The last name of the agent is Sarah. The salary of our third agent is 50,000, and then we can change the phone number. Remember that the rules of the data type for each column apply here too. So you always use quotation mark for the voucher. So the next thing to do here, after we have written our third insert into statement, is to highlight the statement and then execute just that, and we can see the messages below says one role affected. So now we should have 3 rows of values in the sales agent table. So to see all the rows that we have, we can run a select all statement. So we say select all from sales ID, from sales agent rather, select all from sales agent, and we can see our three rows of values added to our sales agent table columns. So our agents with agent ID 1, 3, and 5, their first name, their last name, their salary, and their mobile number. So the next thing now is to see how to delete row values from our table. So if we want to delete the row which the agent ID is 1, so remember that our agent ID column is the unique identifier, is the primary key. So if we want to delete the one with the agent ID 1, we write delete from sales agent where agent ID equals 1. So we want to delete that row of values, that row data in our table where the agent ID is 1. So the record for David Mark would be deleted from our table. So the next thing is to highlight this statement and execute it. And then you can see that it says one role affected. One rule affected. Now if we run the select all from sales agent statement, if we run the statement again, we would see that that role of record has been deleted from our table, from our sales agent table. So we have just agent ID 3 and agent ID 5 currently in our sales agent table. Now the next thing is to update. For example, if we want to update our sales agent first name where the agent ID is 3. So we want to change the agent ID 3, that's the first name with Busayo. We want to change our name to Felicia. So we'll say update sales agent, set the first name, equals, remember that the first name column is a varchar, so you have to use your quotation mark. So update sales agent, set first name equals to Felicia, where agent ID equals 3. So for the 3, we do not need to use a quotation mark because 3 the agent ID is an int column, the agent ID column. So this statement, the next thing to do is to highlight this statement and then execute it. So now you can see that it says one role affected. Now if we run the select all again, the select all from sales agent again, would see that there is an update to the first name of our agent with agent ID 3. So earlier on her name was Busayo, her first name was Busayo, but now her first name has been updated to Felicia. All other column values remains the same. If this video has been helpful and you have learned something from it, kindly share it to someone who might need it, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.